going to get right into it. The new Surgeon General has been picked. I'm not sure if you guys have heard this or not, but we're going to just go through a few things. I'm going to share some stuff with you that I found on the internet, and man, oh man, this is going to have the Maha movement hot. First of all, I want you guys to know that Donald J. Trump did not even pick this person. This is what he said about it.
You just announced a new nominee for the U.S. Surgeon General who never finished her residency and is not a practicing physician. So can you explain why you picked her to be America's top doctor?
Because Bobby thought she was fantastic. Bobby thought she was fantastic. She's she's a brilliant woman who went through Stanford, and as I understand it, she basically wanted to be an academic as opposed to a surgeon. I think she graduated first in her class at Stanford, and Bobby really thought she was great. I don't know her. I listened to the recommendation of Bobby. I met her yesterday and once before.
So it's very odd that Robert Kennedy Jr. was talking about the other person who was slated for the job who was against mRNA vaccines, and at the midnight hour, they pulled the support for that one and put in the next one. And I don't know about you guys, but it's a little suspect to me that I never even heard of this person before. Actually, nobody really had until she showed up with her brother on the Tucker Carlson show. So that right there is a little bit of a flag. Kind of like J.D. Vance. You never heard of him before. All of a sudden he comes out with this fake book, changes his name 5 times, and all of a sudden now he's the vice president of the United States. Kind of like Barack Obama, who came out of nowhere to win the presidency back in the day. If you guys remember that, leave a comment down below. And speaking of changing their name, how come she doesn't use her actual name, which is Paula? Why are we going by this Casey nonsense? And now we're going to go over some of her credentials and what other doctors are saying and why you should probably be at least paying attention. And in case you didn't know, she didn't even start using her middle name as her name until just recently. I find that highly suspect. Nor does she have an active medical license. And this is what Robert Kennedy Jr. says about her on his X post. The Surgeon General is a symbol of moral authority who stands against the financial and institutional gravities that tend to corporatize medicine. Casey Means, Paula Casey Means, was born to hold this job. Was born to hold this job. I don't know if that's a Manchurian Candidate nod or what that is, but that language was a little bit suspect. She will provide our country with ethical guidance, wisdom, and gold standard medical advice. And then he says, thank you, President Trump, for nominating this woman. I don't get that part, do you? And one thing is for sure, she's all in with the mRNA technologies. Nicole Shanahan, which was Kennedy's VP running mate, actually chimed in on this, and this is what she says. Yes, it's very strange. Doesn't make any sense. I was promised that if I supported RFK Jr. in his Senate confirmation, that neither of his siblings would be working under HHS or in an appointment, and that people much more qualified would be. I don't know if RFK very clearly lied to me or what is going on. It has been clear in recent conversations that he is reporting to someone regularly who is controlling his decisions, and it isn't President Trump. With regards to siblings, there is something very artificial and aggressive about them. Almost likely they were bred and raised Manchurian candidates. Okay, that's from Nicole Shanahan, Jr.'s running mate before he got selected by Trump to be his running mate, to unite the parties, y'all. I'm just saying, this is all very orchestrated, okay? Don't think that it's not. Now, Dr. Susan Humphreys also is chiming in on this, and Dr. Henry Ely, both well-known voices for medical freedom space, are calling her out. No experience, no stance on vaccine harm, total silence for years, a MAGA pick from heaven, I think hell. Dr. Jack Cruz tried to tell us Mary Taylor Bowen was on the podcast too. She knows the deal with Means. Let's see how all this pans out. I can't help but to think that this is a very carefully groomed and selected person. Just about no clinical experience, talks a great game about everything but vaccines, feels all wrong. Why? There were so many other better choices. Just like even honestly for Kennedy Jr., like there was much better choices than him. He's a bloodline and he's totally compromised. Dr. Henry Ely, who I actually reached out to come speak at the Homesteading Life Conference, Heck, that's next weekend if you haven't got your tickets yet. Homesteadinglifeconference.com. We hope to see you guys there so you can learn how to navigate all this crazy and take care of yourself and dismiss the people that are practicing, okay, pharmacia, okay? Whew. Go look up that stuff, pharmacia. If you want a woman that believes in 24-hour metabolic surveillance by AI and who has no tangible clinical experience and whose family has ties to the Rockefellers and who was silent as a church mouse in 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, and who has ties to the WEF, GAVI, Biden, Clinton, and the WHO. This is a Maha pick from heaven. If you want all that stuff, is what he's saying. Very critical of this pick. Rockefeller connections, and then 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, you didn't hear nothing from her. All of a sudden, she's popping up with her brother on the Tucker Carlson show. Please look into Tucker Carlson's dad. I know we like Tucker Carlson, and we only like, let me just tell you guys what's going on. We only like these folks, okay? Tucker Carlson, Donald J. Trump, because they're giving us a little bit of the truth that we know exists, right? So that's what turns people on to them, okay? But that's what they're using against you, because even the scriptures tell you if you have itchy ears, you're going to be easily moved, okay? Because that's what they're doing. They're appealing to your itchy ears. All right, and a lot of people looked up Palantir from the last video when I talked about him right at the very end, and they were very disturbed by that, okay? And that's J.D. Vance's stuff. So please keep up on your preps. This Surgeon General stuff is nonsense, right? They are, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Donald J. Trump, just in 2025 here, since he just took his second presidency, has already okayed 2 times the use of mRNA vaccines, all right, in the quiet. So this is all quiet, below the radar, okay? No one's talking about that stuff. No one's talking about the damage that it's been doing. No one's talking about removing it from the schedule. They're still having it out there on the schedule, being put into people as people are flopping all over the place. Please, please, please consider what I am telling you. Please consider it. Don't believe it, but just consider it. All right, we'll see you guys at the Homesteading Life Conference coming up, where we teach people how to break free from the matrix and how to live your best life, right? And it has worked wonders for us. We've been 16 years on this, I guess you could say it's a journey or this experiment, and it's panning out very, very well for us, and we share it all right here on YouTube for free, all right? But we'll see you guys at the Homesteading Life Conference, and please share this video with your friends. Because as I mentioned in the last video, if you didn't watch that one, please do. Everything is a setup, okay? J.D. Vance changed his name 5 times and comes out with this hillbilly book. Has an Indian wife, because a lot of you guys don't know about the Indian connection, which I would say, one man's opinion, more like his handler, okay? He goes to India the 25th of last month, and now, right now, Palantir, go look it up. India is bombing Pakistan, right? With Israeli-made rockets, okay? Welcome to the grand illusion. Come on in and see what's happening. Pay the price. Get your tickets for the show. Hey, and before you get out of here, I didn't even read like this much of all the stuff that's going on about this Casey person, okay? So it's pretty deep out there, all right? Pretty deep.